So, thank you, Laura, for inviting me to have this workshop. We have 6 hours. And in this 6 hours, I will talk about some of the principles. You may be aware, you may not be aware of it. And then we will do the practice. After the practice, you are free, open to share your experiences. Why? So that I can really understand where you stand in a particular practice. So the next practice I will customize and personalize according to the group. One thing, be in peace and keep smiling. So I was thinking what to talk and which principles which will help you excel in your personal, professional and social life. So I will start with a beautiful event. My honey is also here. So we were in the Himalayas. And that part of the Himalayas is known as Gangotri, at the 12,000 feet. So that Gangotri is a place 12 miles, no, maybe 10 miles further, around 14-15 kilometers further high up on the mountain. We have the second largest glacier in the world. So at Gangotri is a place where my master used to stay. The entire family were there, 2 kids were there. So there the Ganges River flows at a speed of 50 miles an hour. And you have a big mountain underneath, and over it there is a big cave. You move inside the cave, you don't feel cold. So late in the evening, we all were sitting. My master was lying in the cave and we all were sitting, listening to him. So I went to him, taking a leave from my office in Delhi for about a week. So I told him, my master, I have come here for a week. I have taken a leave for 7 days. And he laughed loudly. In that cave where we hearing the roars of the Ganges River. And he said to me, see, look at the bank of a Ganges River. You'll be surprised that the Ganges River starts from the mountain. It travels about more than 1,000 miles from different states in India, like Varanasi. That has become a hub of spirituality, Allahabad. So the Ganges River is linked to our spiritual tradition, yoga tradition and the Tantra tradition. So that's what he was referring to me, that look at this, you are at the bank of a Ganges River, you are lucky to have a master, and you have come here only for a week. What you are going to learn. And I heard him and I said, I'm not going to leave at all until you say me to leave. That's done. We spent about more than 2.5 months. And in those 2.5 months, he used to teach us for about 4 to 5 hours every day in the morning after the breakfast. Then I used to contemplate, and every, just 2.5 months, think of this, how much you can learn. Every time you go back, You sit in meditation, you contemplate and reflect what the Master has taught, you correct those things. After a few years, when I started recontemplating and reflecting on what he taught me, so that became one small book. It is going to be in a series. So I'm going to talk about this book on mindfulness or meditation. There are certain principles. So I have underlined 16 topics. So before we go, let us first lie down. Let us do one practice. Then we will start talking. That would be better, Haley? Let us lie down. Let us see how the practice works, and the lack of knowledge leaves the practice. You can lie down. I told you also, Kevin. Everyone. So eyes are closed and you put your hands on the floor or the mat facing the ceiling. I'm observing how you feel comfortable. So your hands are facing the ceiling, naturally bent. Do not stretch them. Your heels are little far away from each other and the toes are hanging on the sides. Eyes are closed gently. I call it a 4-step relaxation, but you can definitely say it is also a mindfulness practice. We'll understand why people in our country have some clarity and also not a clarity. What about mindfulness or meditation? So you are aware of the position of the body, aware of the position of your own body. How do you do it? You are aware. What is that awareness? You feel the sensation in the body, that body is comfortable. So we make the body little more comfortable. And in that process, we start moving the mind within. But how we do it? You see that? Every principle is laid down in Eastern wisdom by the teachings of the masters. The clarity is there in the intellect, so it is the doubt-free mind does the practice, and it gives you the result. The simpler the practice, the higher it is. So first we become comfortable. How? Move the mind on the neck joint. Feel the sensation when the mind moves to the neck joint. You feel the sensation, you experience it is a comfortable state, and there is a sense of steadiness. I'm picking up only one preparatory step in the beginning. As we move deeper, I'll pick up others. Move the mind on the shoulder joints. Remember, the mind is not doing anything. Mind is simply watching, feeling, and knowing. Shoulder joints, you feel the sensation. Sensation tells you that you are comfortable. If it is not, you can adjust and align. And you experience steadiness. Hip joint, you feel the sensation. You are comfortable and steadiness. Knee joints, Your mind becomes a childlike. Okay, the moment I say, because you are not doing anything, out of curiosity, you look at the knee joints, you feel the sensation, you are comfortable, you experience the steadiness, you are not enforcing the stillness in the body. Remember this. When you enforce, the mind becomes crazy, reactive. So you are aware. We'll talk about those principles later. So the entire body is comfortable. And now, first step, look at the head and the neck. The mind is looking at the head and the neck. And you feel the sensation. Let me rephrase it. Move the mind on the right arm and sensation and awareness. The mind is on the left arm, sensation and awareness. Let me make you aware. I'm not asking the mind to do anything, which the mind will feel difficult, may like to react, may do it half-heartedly. It is just an awareness. Move the mind on the chest and the belly. What is your experience, sensation and awareness? That's all. Do you understand? This is an effortless, natural practice. But the moment you say practice, I have to do something. But it is a non-practice. I'm laying a foundation of this 6-hour workshop. Move the mind on the right leg. Be there, sensation and awareness. Left leg, sensation and awareness. The entire body, sensation and awareness. Second step, look at the head and the neck. We discover. Discovery means it is yet unknown to the mind, and when you discover, it is known to the mind. I'm laying down those foundations with a simple explanation. So look at the head and the neck and discover sensation and stillness. Right arm, sensation and stillness. You discover. You did nothing to make the body still. See the point. Move the mind on the left arm, be there and discover sensation and stillness. Chest in the belly. Experience sensation and stillness. The mind on the right leg. Sensation and stillness. Left leg, sensation and stillness. The mind goes to the entire body, means you become aware of the entire body. The simple tip is that you look at the body at the top and move the mind, looking the major parts of the body reaching to the toes. And discover sensation and stillness. It is so natural. Next step, let us play with the mind. Look deep inside the heart. What it means. First become aware of the center of the rib cage. How you become aware? You feel the sensation there. Stillness is already there. Look inside the skin. You find the space or a blankness. The moment you see the blankness and the space, say to your mind, I'm in peace. Shantoham. Just say, it's okay. Continue. I'm in peace. Move the mind once again deep inside the heart. I told you the highway. What? You look at the center of the rib cage. You feel the sensation. You discover the stillness. And the moment you look inside the center of the rib cage, you have taken an exit from the ramp and you moved into the highway. Well, understand that. But the moment you see that space, say to yourself, I'm in peace. Why? Principle of Eastern wisdom declares that peace and happiness are our essential nature. It cannot be undone. But it can be found in the deep cave of our heart. We'll also understand in this journey what it means by the cave in the heart. We take it for granted, No, we'll understand. And the last, fourth step is looking at the breath. Casually. Naturally, the mind is looking at the breath, not focus. Not focus, look at the breath. So what do you see the breath? The breath is going, moving in, moving out, knowing breath is going in, coming out. We are simply looking at the breath. Everything is okay. Looking at the breath. Looking at the breath. I am specifically saying no focus. You know the breath is going in and out. You know I'm here with you. That is the field of awareness. But the moment you give work to the mind, focus on the breath, and then the mind shows how crazy it becomes. It may become habitual. It brings the past impression. And then you are lost somewhere. Looking at the breath. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. You see that? I added another caveat into it. You need not to change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Who is changing? The mind. We don't want the mind to do anything except become aware of this moment. And you will be surprised. The next step is doing nothing. Doing nothing leads you to experience deep within. I'm laying a foundation for this workshop. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Now you should be learning how to return, not in a habitual way, and I'll explain every step of this. So bring your mind to the right hand, be there, feel the change. Bring your mind to the left hand, feel the change. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Lift your both the palms and place it on your closed eyes, open the eyes inside. Bring the hands down, sit up. How do you feel? Haley, how do you feel? Feel relaxed or calm? Or feel stressed?
Relax.
Relax? Kevin, do you feel 5%? You see that? You should appreciate your mind, that mind did nothing in order to relax. So who is culprit? Our own mind. The entire journey of the Eastern wisdom, we have, I believe, that we have more than 50 texts. Last time we had a workshop, we understood more about the mind, the pure mind, the impure mind, when the mind becomes impure, how the mind starts working from the past impression and creates a lot of stress and suffering in our lives. So today, as I told you, I explained you that wonderful event. You know what happened? It's so wonderful to sit with the Master in that cave. You hear the roars of a Ganges river coming from outside, 50 miles an hour. And one of the most, we were all together. My son was also there. When you lie down on that stone, the rock bed, and the Ganges river is flowing inside that big cave. We have a lot of equipments, vibrators. We found the natural vibrator. And because you are with the Master, you are learning something. It doesn't affect you. And you wake up in the morning, you come out of the cave, and there's a chilly winter, the snow, 2 feet snow outside. So spending more than 2.5 months, gave a very deeper insight. I still recall every moment. The beauty is that when you recall every moment, you get to know those principles. So let us have a little brief about this tradition. I call this tradition as the Eastern wisdom for the sake of understanding, knowledge. Yeah? So this Eastern wisdom, more than 6,000 years old. I belong to that tradition. That includes yoga, tantra, mantra, nada, any and every practice. Mindfulness. We have 3,000 texts written much before the Buddha was born. When you say mindfulness, we immediately remember the name Buddha. I spell Sanskrit word, Sanskrit pronunciation, Buddha. Normally we say Buddha. Yeah? In our country we say Buddha. So Buddha is also a Sanskrit word and a Hindi word which means very old. We leave that guy, so I'm not saying Buddha. I'm saying Buddha. Now, second point to understand that Eastern wisdom lays down the principles that cannot be upgraded, that cannot be updated. Every master follows the same principle. Every master. But what happens? Every master explains the principles differently. Why? Because of the different nature of the students, because of the different temperament of a student. So I had one student, she is still continuing after over a year. Her problem was anxiety. She started a month before the last Christmas. Chronic anxiety and the stress. So I customize all the programs. I explain only those principles which will help her managing that anxiety. And today I was there. I remember the last Christmas, it was crazy. I didn't understand those principles. And, I had to host a Christmas party for my employees and I was just running. And today she had a Christmas. Oh, you see, I'm free, casual. I like that sense of freedom. I did not understand before, now I understand. So she moved to the second stage. Remember. So the Eastern wisdom, the first stage is if you have challenges, if you have some problem, whether it is a physical, mental or emotional problem, it gives you a deeper insight from where the problem comes, how to solve that. Once you are able to solve that problem, you become a seeker. What is one pointer of becoming a seeker? Now the world outside is not dictating your life. Do you understand what it means? Your mind is not influenced, governed by the changes that is taking place in the world outside. The world is bound to change. My near and dear ones may become sick, may die, someone may be born. I may lose money, I may feel profit and loss, victory and defeat. This is going to happen. This is the nature of the world. You cannot stop it. You see, it gives you a deeper insight. So today I saw she was bubbling with that. You see that, I'm totally free. I need not to do anything. I just made one dish. I'm going there. I will hug everyone with a peace. Last year, she recalled, everything has changed. That is the second level. So transitioning from the first level to the second level is a big challenge. Every time she returned and she complained, this thing happened, my daughter, my son. I asked my son to be with you. He doesn't want. What should I do? I said, do nothing. You have already said it. Keep your mind cool and calm. No, but he's addicted. Second stage. third stage, when you live in that status quo of inner calm and the peace, the third stage comes the awakening, realization, transformation. She is still continuing. She is still continuing. So, returning back, understand the Eastern wisdom lays down these principles that cannot be updated, that cannot be upgraded. Your phone is upgraded every year. The mind desires. Now, nowadays we upgrade our honey also. Some people, not everyone. We upgrade our home. And the science and technology is already upgrading, updating these principles, Kevin. Maybe after a year you'll have a different clothes. No, I like that cloth, you won't like it. Do you have a smile on your face? I don't see you.
No, I'm just listening.
Listening. Well, at the same time, you can have a smile also. So we are picking up, I'm laying a foundation. So all these principles, what is the meaning of those principles? What is the meaning of that principles? How do you drive your car? You have a right knowledge. Right knowledge, yeah? And you apply that knowledge to drive a car. Right? Eastern wisdom is an instrument of knowledge. Now I'm making a big statement. Pay attention. It is only an instrument of knowledge. For what? Can you guess? For what?
Inner peace.
Yes. It is an instrument of knowledge aims at self-discovery. Science is an instrument of knowledge aims at discovery of the phenomena of the world outside. I'm complimenting so that it makes sense. Haley, does it make a sense? The science is an instrument of knowledge that helps us to discover the phenomena underlying this nature. That's why we have a cell phone, we have an iPod or Mac. Yeah? That's why we have electricity. Understand? Once that foundation is clear, you will see that the intellect should be doubt-free. Can you make science a cult, dogma, belief and religion? No. No. Some people make it, so we say it's a fake science. Right? Very clear. Eastern wisdom, Mike, is an instrument of knowledge. It is also an instrument of knowledge. Are you understanding? Are you getting it? It is an instrument of knowledge free from cult, dogma, belief and religion. And what is the goal? To find who am I. To find who am I, what is this world outside, what is the existence, and then what comes? Now I know who am I. Now I know what is the nature of the world. So world cannot influence me, dictate me. I can maintain my calm and peace. I go back, look inside. Peace is my essential nature. I don't allow. And what is that existence? Then ultimately, what is the goal of mindfulness, meditation, yoga, tantra? What is the goal? Can you make out? Can you think of it? With a smile on the face. Then what is the goal? How to live, work, think, act in peace, in happiness, in love, in wisdom, 24/7, in personal, in professional, in social life. Did you find any event, if you have read about Buddha, he encountered, he said, no, I'm in stress now. Don't talk to me. We can't imagine. But he worked on it. He worked on it. So it's all a process of evolution. You evolve day by day. That is the journey of Eastern wisdom. Look at Patanjali Yoga Sutra, we talk a lot. First 4 sutra gives you the entire journey. Only 4 verses. And it explains many principles. If you are a seeker, you treat the path successfully. Having laid down the foundation, we will pick up one after the other. She has the book. So I'm picking up in between and I'll explain you. The first topic is a regular practice with wisdom. I think they can have the book so they can also read it. Then that's a secondary issue, isn't it? So, I told you I learnt all these principles, page number 6. So it's better once you read it and I will explain it, it will make a sense. It will make a sense because I'm trying to modify the nature of the workshop, Lara, so that it will help.
Yes, perfect. I'll be back.
I want to give you the maximum. So page number 6. Title is a regular practice with wisdom and purifying the mind are the keys to succeed in mindfulness. Now I have the verse which is one of the greatest texts of yoga known as Gita in Sanskrit and then English. So if you read the translation of the verse, I give you a background. Where is the background? Krishna was the originator of yoga. On page number 6, Haley. Krishna is the originator of yoga, and he had a good friend, Arjuna, who was his student. And the student raised a question, come on, the mind is very difficult to control. How can you control the mind? You cannot. See that, the dialogue between. That is how the yoga was discovered. You may think that no, it's not so logical, rational. And the book was written almost 2,500 years ago. So from there I picked up only one verse out of 700 verses to give you a deeper insight. So what Krishna says after his student friend says, come on, Krishna, I'm your friend, how to control the mind? You cannot control the mind. I'm already stressed. So he was in a situation full of stress, his body was shaking, and he could not understand how to control that stressful situation, page number 6. So then what Krishna is saying, understand that. So in that situation, after hearing the student, what Krishna says, O mighty armed son of Kunti, leave this, what you say is correct. The mind is indeed very difficult to restrain. Then he said, but by practice and dispassion, it can be controlled. So he gave the 2 principles. So I converted that practice as a regular practice with wisdom. And second is purifying the mind. So I converted that word from dispassion to purify the mind. So understand what it means by regular practice with wisdom and dispassion. So once you understand and keep in your mind before the practice, the life will change. I'm not saying it. These masters are saying. I'm teaching everything from the master. So now first thing, the Eastern wisdom I have already covered. The master agrees with the disciple that the mind indeed is difficult to control. This is one of the many ways the masters educate their disciples. What happens in our tradition? We first agree. If you say, no, I have a lot of stress, no, I agree. I understand you. And then the master says, come on, let us inquire whether the stress is coming from outside or inside. The stress you experience inside is coming from outside or inside? No, it's coming from outside. Okay, it is coming outside. So did it touch you? No, it did not touch me. Take one example my master used to give, that if someone says you crazy is a word, how it hurts you, where it hurts you. Can you answer me? It hurts only when your mind gives an interpretation of the word crazy. So where it hurts you, the mind gives it a right or wrong interpretation. So where the heart in stress is? In the mind, in the head. Right? About the outer event. The outer event did not touch you. Do you understand that? Are you getting it? Right? So, what we say in our tradition, the mind is impure, it gives a wrong interpretation. It gives a wrong interpretation based on my past impression and experiences. Then I feel I'm hurt. And then I have the anxiety, stress and suffering. Are you getting it? Do you understand that? How anyone dare to hurt you if your mind is pure? Another example. Mirror, glass. We look into the face. We look our face there. And it is full of dust. Can you see the mirror? Can you see your face? Can mirror is to blame? Look at it. Can mind is to blame? If the mind is pure? Look at this, purifying the mind. The moment you purify the mind, you enter into a state of dispassion. Natural. Do you fight with a mirror? How come so much of dust? Let me break it. We fight with our own mind. So we have anxiety, we have stress, we have duality, we have conflict because we fight with our own mind, Kevin. Are you getting it? Can you keep this principle in your head all the time? How dare anyone can give me the stress and anxiety? Can you recall it is the dust? Let me remove the dust and then see. Remove the dust and see what happens. Every verse, I have quoted only one verse from that greatest text, the Gita. It summarizes all the systems of yoga, mindfulness, meditation, written much before Buddha was there. So we should have a clarity. Now look at this. The master says there are 2 steps to secure inner peace, happiness, love and wisdom. Regular practice with wisdom. Now understand. there is a total wrong notion and misperception about the word practice. What we say practice in Eastern wisdom is different from what we say practice in normal day-to-day life. You go to the gym, practice gym. So here, the practice of meditation and mindfulness or Eastern wisdom is not what we do in gym. What is the practice? You all came from your house. You started driving from your home. You are leaving the home away from you. And at last you reach to the studio of Lara. That is practice. Did you get it? No. So when the mind moves consciously away from the impurity and the dust on the mirror and approaching near to your own self, that is known as the practice. Mike, do you have doubt?
No, I don't have doubts. I'm just thinking it through.
Thinking it, yeah. I gave a physical example. You move away from the house and you are here. So both the processes are going together. The word is, in Eastern wisdom, is known as sadhana. The word is known as sadhana. That applies to any and every practice of yoga, tantra, mantra, meditation. So, but we have to go a little deeper to understand that how to pick up the steps so that it helps me to move away from my peace and move near to the stress. No, yes, you are aware, yeah. And I just wanted to make a statement. Are you listening or you're simply feeling bored? Now look at the seventh. Can you just give me, do we practice eating, evacuating bowels, drinking water and other daily activities? Do we practice eating? We simply eat. Are you practice listening to me? No, you're simply listening. Right? Right? Am I right? When your mind moves to that state where you simply meditate, you don't practice meditation, you will succeed. Nobody can fail you. Even if the teacher is crazy, you will succeed. Because teacher has to apply one or the other principle. Your mind lives into that mode. Understand that. Understand that. Do you practice loving someone? Understand. Check the state of the mind. That is the pure mind. So it means, what should be the initial practice? We have to purify the mind first. One, and we have to consciously practice meditation. What is conscious practice? You know what is happening. What is the step? You don't fall into letharginess. You don't fall into sleep. Your mind is, you are not carried away by the past impression. But all those challenges, how to meet all those challenges? The Master says, become a seeker first. You have a driving license to drive a car? Certain capacities and talents are required. I earned that driving license. That's why I can drive. Right? Can I earn myself to become a seeker? The seeker always succeeds. And the process is to understand, to do those initial practices that will help you purify the mind. And ultimately, now I have explained in the second para, the second step is detachment in the third para. We carry strong bias against the word detachment because of heavy conditioning. The mind thinks that by detachment we will lose all pleasures of life. Does that question came into your mind? If I am not attached, I love my honey. Is that love or attachment? The master questions. Lara, that master questions. I am not questioning. The Eastern wisdom questions. So that at least we should have a clarity. We should have a right knowledge. So we are not asking, stop loving everyone, go to the Himalayas, sit there, that is the only alternative. No. The mind must reach to the peak of the Himalayas. Mind must reach to the peak of the Himalayas inside, so that it is cool and calm, so that it understands the difference between attachment, detachment, and love. You expect anything from any person, a thing in the world outside, you are in the mode of attachment. You express love and the compassion from outside and share it to the others, that shows the love. You love for the sake of love. We'll understand it deeply. So understanding that this is a wrong notion about detachment. Mind clinging after pleasure or pain causes attachment. This attachment must go to succeed in mindfulness. It is replaced by love, kindness, and compassion. Not by simply saying, I'm in full of compassion. It will not work. The mind must remove that dust to allow the compassion to work. I'm using the same words to make you understand. The journey to the mindfulness is easy, full of fun, play, and the joy of the world. Fun means entertaining. The word play means perform or work. And the word joy means happiness, ecstasy, and delight. A seeker treats the path of mindfulness with the fun, play, and the joy. First topic. When I am simply a person, I am not a seeker, it's a bit hard to practice mindfulness. The mind says, no, it's very tough to keep my body still. A qualified seeker. In day-to-day life, we become father, play our role. We become mother, play our role. We become teacher, play our role. Play means that I perform my work allotted to that label. When I say I'm your mom, don't do this. So I'm playing my role as a mom. You see that? Question is different at how to play my role. Right? Clear? I'm your son, mom. You should understand that. So you are playing a role of a son. Do you play a role of a seeker? That is the key. That is the key. We go to university and then there is an inner orientation. There is an orientation about that course. So becoming a seeker, we have an inner orientation. So I will throw the questions that we will understand after one more practice. But can you just tell me, what is the goal of your life, Kevin? If you like to tell me. If it is private, don't tell me.
I don't know.
You don't know. Very good. What's the goal of your life?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You have to figure it out. Haley,
Give back something.
can't tell. Mike,
Enlightenment, help others.
help with this. Yeah.
Aren't goals always going to change now?
That's what we need to understand. Is there any goal that never changes in life? Can you find out that goal? And now if you say that, no, I can't figure out, then you start driving and tell your mind, I don't know where to go, where I'm going. I'm just driving. Will that work? Will that work? Tell me.
Until you run out of gas.
But I don't know where I am, where I drove. What should I do? This lack of goal of life causes 90% of the stress and the suffering in my life. I can give you hundreds of examples. Playing a role of a mom. Just take an example. Playing a role of a mom with a Kevin, and I don't have a clarity of the goal in my head and the mind. It is already, the impure mind is, how dare you say that? The mind picks up those moments of anxiety and reaction. When there is a clarity here, let me calm down. When you calm down, then I'll talk to you. Do you see that? Do you see that? So, how to become a qualified seeker? There are goals of life that never changes, Kevin, but the goals in life is constantly changing. That we will understand. That is the first question. You are very clear after the session where you are going. Are you not clear? Not clear? So after 8 you will pick up 202 and you will continue driving? Pick up, understand that. The mind moves in relationship, we should have a clarity. So goals in life is constantly changing. The goal of life never changes. We all are seekers of peace and happiness. Tell me, if in this group, is there anyone who is not a seeker of peace and happiness, love and wisdom? Is it not clear? But we are not aware of it. We don't put the goals in life clear, and that creates the impurity. It takes over the goal of my life. I told you. I'm not hesitated because I'm hesitated because of you. Now I can give you hundreds of examples. You know all. Do you understand that? Huh? It happened in your life. I have to be a seeker. So, not only the goal of life has to be made clear that can I be into peace in this stressful situation? Why? I'm a seeker of peace. Then what I say? You are responsible for it. That made me stressed. So we create that gap in mindfulness. We strengthen our mind. It is known as the 4 connections. We release and purify the mind. First, we keep the goal of life intact. Goal of life, Kevin, is the same. Whether you want to be an IT professional, whether you want to be a mentor, guide, you want to earn money. Why you want to earn money? Let us pick up that example and then you will be clear. Why? Why you want to earn money? To buy something?
What is that money? Kind of like a need and not a want. Because you need money to like get a place to live.
Place to live. Why we want to have a place to live? To be happy. Why I want to buy an iPhone? I want to be happy. Why I want to marry? I want to be happy. Why I want to have more knowledge? I want to be happy. Am I clear? Am I clear? You find out any action. Deep inside, the goal of life is to be happy. Now see, okay, Kevin, one example. So, you want to earn money?
Sure.
Okay. Let me put $10,000 into your account. Even then, I don't have it. Take an example. So you want to earn money? So I'm putting $10,000 into your account, but don't spend it. Will you be happy?
Yeah.
Don't spend it. I won't allow you to spend that money. Will you be happy?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yes.
So you want to keep that $10,000 in your account forever. I will not allow you to spend it. Because if you want to spend it. Why? To buy a thing. Why? To enjoy those things. Why to enjoy? To be happy. So we have taken a different route altogether. And the mind becomes impure that if I have the money, I will be happy. Are you getting it? I will marry, then I will be happy. And then I will divorce, then only I will be happy. I will remarry, then only I will be happy. Do you see this journey? Do you see this? This is known as the impurity of the mind. Why it is so? Goal of life is not clear. This is what these masters are teaching. Are you clear? So, purification of the mind to become a qualified seeker, the goal in life is clear. And how the masters have explained it. So, there is a fundamental principle, twofold goal of the entire Eastern wisdom. What is the first is end of suffering from life. Any kind of suffering. And second, awakening to inner peace and happiness. So they explain like this twofold. So under that comes the goal of life, goal in life, and ultimately they said 4 connections that we will understand after the practice. We'll pick up the second. So let us lie down again. We'll keep the first practice as a standard and we will apply the principles that we have learned just now. Eyes are closed, position of the body. First is the position of the body. Do you remember your hands are facing the ceiling, little far away from your thighs, heels are little far away, the toes are hanging on the sides. Why I say hanging? So that it is natural. What is natural? It is casual. What is casual? Do you still have that wisdom in your mind? Do you practice eating? Do you practice lying down? No. Check it. Who checks the mind? What did I say? Regular practice with wisdom. We all are undertaking a conscious journey When I'm giving you the instructions, you accept it consciously. You don't accept it as a curtain, a habit, oh, let me do it and see what happens. No. You are your own teacher. Wonderful position of the body. Being comfortable, looking at the neck joint. Now you are aware. Whereas the first preparatory step is like, you're looking at the neck joint, feel the sensation, being comfortable, and steadiness. Second, shoulder joints, feel the sensation, being comfortable, and steadiness. Hip joint, the mind goes there, you feel the sensation, you're comfortable, and steadiness. Knee joints, sensation, being comfortable, and steadiness. Are you applying the first principle? Do you practice eating? Do you practice moving the mind? No, casual. There is no I associated. When the I is not associated, what is going to happen? You will experience a sense of detachment and a dispassion. The entire body is comfortable and comfortable. You are experiencing the sensation and you experience the steadiness. We understood the impurity of the mind intellectually. How to apply that into the practice? And there are hundreds of tools available for us. We'll apply one tool here. Maybe two tools based on what I observe you all together. So the first tool, Patanjali says that when you do a quick and a short breath in the first chapter, you are able to purify the mind. Oh, is that so? So what we do, you look inside the rib cage, into the space, and keep looking there and start breathing quick and a short breath for simply a minute. Start breathing quick and short breath. That's good. Continue. Continue. Quick and short breath. So what happens when you do the quick and short breath? When you inhale, the chest expands. When you exhale, the chest drops down. You're doing the practice while laying down, and then we will do the practice while sitting also. Continue. Continue. Quick and short breath. It will bring some changes in sensation. We accept and recognize it. Continue. Wonderful. Continue. Continue. And stop this. Look at the head and the neck. We're moving into the second step. So once you purify the mind, some kind of dust is removed, so to say, and now we move into the same step again as we did before. Look into the head and the neck. Sensation and awareness. We're moving slowly. So I will continue to grow the one practice into deeper, stronger, higher practice so that you will understand with clarity the entire journey of mindfulness in this 6 hours workshop. So look at the right arm. So now see that when you move the mind on the right arm doesn't move, and at the same time you feel the sensation and become aware. You may undergo variety of experiences that includes tingling, numbness, vision, colors. What should you do? Do nothing. Let those experiences come and go. You follow the simple instructions. Move the mind on the left arm. Feel the sensation and become aware. The mind goes to the chest and the belly. Just be there. Feel the sensation and become aware. Move the mind on the right leg. Feel the sensation. Become aware. Move the mind on the left leg. Feel the sensation and become aware. The entire body. We all are undertaking a journey consciously. It means that you know fully well what we are doing. As if my instructions makes you a teacher and makes you a student together. I am an extra guy. Think of that. That is the role of a mentor and a guide in the Eastern wisdom. You'll be amazed. Look at the head and the neck now. Discover sensation. This time the sensation is deeper and you experience the stillness. Right arm, sensation and the stillness. Now see that, understand it. When I say move the mind on the right arm and the right arm moves. Now see, did you hear the instructions clearly? Yes. You said move the mind on the right arm, but what is happening? The right arm is moving. So what is it? This is the impurity of the mind. One understanding. Oh, this is the impurity of the mind? And now see, so I will hold my right arm, I will not move, force it. That is also the impurity. Did I say you to hold on to it? Go back to the lesson. Do you practice eating? No, but what to do? That is what we are learning. We are going a little deeper in this workshop. Move the mind on the left arm. Just be there. Discover sensation and the stillness. Move the mind on the chest and the belly. Feel the sensation and the stillness. The mind goes to the right leg. Feel the sensation and the stillness. Move the mind on the left leg. Feel the sensation Discover the sensation in the stillness. And let me tell you another impurity that you might take over. So when I say move the mind on the entire body, your mind moves on the entire body, but the other part of the mind is still struggling. But you are still able to maintain the sensation in the stillness. You are learning, you are educating the mind. Come on. Don't worry, even if a lot of thoughts are moving into your mind. What is the success point? That you are able to maintain the state of stillness with the sensation you experience in the body. It may happen today, it may not happen in a couple of sessions. And that is what I observe. I observe a lot of stuff also. That is how I learned from my mentor. So now look at both the arms. Conscious experience of sensation, relaxation, and stillness. We are moving little deeper into the practice. Now we have a cognition, cognitive therapy. So your mind is learning, is this the conscious relaxation is? When we have lot of sensations and there is a sense of stillness, let us take it as an understanding and then see what happens. Just a hypothesis. Accept it as a hypothesis. We are testing it. Move the mind on the chest and the belly. Be there and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. I'm reminding you, your mind will remove the impurity, the dust on the mirror. Do you practice eating? No. Do I practice listening? No. Mind? No eye. Follow. Move the mind on both the legs. Be there and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. I'm not teaching you I can even talk about the mantra. I can take you to the journey of very deeper principles claiming, this is going to happen. That doesn't work in the long run. And if you are attached to those stuff, the dispassion doesn't result. Move the mind on both the legs. Be there. Just be there. Experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Move the mind on the entire body, from the top of the head to the toes. You're looking at the entire body the way I'm looking at your body, same way your mind is looking at your own body. I'll tell you. What is this process? This is one of the higher processes in the tools. It has a specific name that we will pick up tomorrow. Just experience the entire body is in the state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness. When it experiences, you should recognize now the mind is facing to the self. It has started moving inside. What did I tell you, the sadhana? Moving away from what is not desired. What is not desired? The world outside. I cannot find myself in the world. I have to find myself within. Am I doing sadhana? According to the teachers of these great masters, including Buddha, yes. And what is the result? When the mind is looking inside and it is moving within, there is a natural state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness in the body. Natural. It comes by regular practice. One day you discover, oh, it is so easy. So when the mind has started moving within, to keep it living within, we use the tool of the breath. What is that tool? Now see 4 points of that tool. And if you follow the 4 points of that tool, you will continue to live within. After all, when you are driving, condition is that you should sit on a driver's seat. You should keep both the hands on the steering, the leg alternating on the pedal and the brake. So, maintain that state of sensation in the stillness in the body. Remain being comfortable. These are the conditions. For that you do nothing. The body is just lying down. You're aware. The impure mind will try to react and move the body, and you instantly pick up. So that is the state. In that state, you know the breath is going in and out. The first point of awareness of the breath. First point of awareness. What is the second point of awareness? That helps the mind to go a little deeper. You know the breath is going in and out, first point. Second, the moment the breath goes in, you feel the sensation inside the nose. Every time the breath goes in and out. Are you practicing sensation on the breath? No. It is there. I'm recognizing. I'm accepting as my experience. Oh, that's good. You may feel tingling sensation in the fingers and the toes. They are very good. They will take you deeper. Don't be there. Did you understand the 2 points of awareness? Yes. The breath is going in and out. Second point of awareness, the breath, you feel the sensation of the breath. And the third point is the check on the impure mind. What is the third point? Do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. When the mind moves consciously for the first time, the mind, through its habit and conditioning, wants to react. That is natural to every human being. That is why we maintain our awareness. What is that third point of awareness? We do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. To engage the mind, to live into that state of purity, we engage the mind. Again, there are hundreds of tools to engage the mind and educate the mind. Maintaining that state of sensation, relaxation, stillness, experiencing the changes in the body in terms of the sensation, aware of the breath going in and out, feeling the sensation, no change, and now engage the mind. The fourth point of awareness. The moment the breath goes in, just drop in the mind in a fun and play manner. That is what we covered in the first topic. Fun. Breath goes in, mind drops in 1. It counts. The breath returns out 1. Mentally you say, no movement of the lips and the tongue. In 2, out 2. In 3. Just go on counting the breath. Now stop the counting and do nothing. Just be there in the state of doing nothing. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand. You will experience the change in the sensation in your experience. Move the mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms. Place it on your closed eyes slowly. Open the eyes inside the hands. Know your experiences. Now ask your mind, what happened? What is your experience? Bring the hands down, sit up. Let us share experiences and then we'll move further. How are you, Ellie? What do you we did almost 30 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I liked everyone did very good. How do you feel, hey? Good?
My mind wandered a lot.
Your mind?
My mind.
But you were able to maintain the stillness again. So that is one thing has to be recognized and understood. And the second part, it is because of the impurity. But still the one part of the mind was able to maintain the sensation, relaxation and stillness in the body. So the real impurity moves the mind inside. We are going to work on that. I will not ask you where your mind was going to be. But one thing is sure. One thing is 100% clear. What is that, Claire? If I am a seeker, my goal of life is clear. First point. Now my mind recognizes 100% that happiness is within me. Will my mind wander anywhere? Simple. I'm not saying. These are the teachings. Teachings of these great masters, including the Buddha. In the first of the Eightfold Noble Path, he says right knowledge. Then he says right thought, right speech, right action. What is right thought? Thought should go outside to seek happiness? No. Why your mind is wandering? It is always wandering outside, my friend. We'll understand that. Intellect should be doubt-free. When the intellect there is a doubt-free state, will the mind wander? Does your mind wander going to your home? How simple. See that? I'm using those simple terms, Mike. So what is your experience, Mike?
Kind of like I was asleep but not asleep.
Yes. Yes. Sometime in science we say sleep wakefulness. Sleep wakefulness. I did a couple of research studies when I was in Fed government in India on sleep wakefulness. So that is a good state. It happens, but you still recognize it. So you are undertaking a conscious journey. And when you undertake a conscious journey, there is always a good result. Better than expected. How are you, Kevin?
Good.
I'm good, you are good, practice is good, experience is good. What is good? You see, I told you, Easternwisdom doesn't form any good cult, dogma, belief, and religion. Good experience. So, how are you, my friend Lara? There's a little more understanding. So, let us pick up. So, if I revise, yes, I always like to repeat and answer me the question. I'm saying as it is how my master used to talk and used to give us a talk. He used to say me, Yogi Raj. So Yogi Raj means the king of yogi. He just used to refer me. In the beginning, he was making fun of me. No, you don't understand anything. I've been telling you, I'm already a fool, It's very low IQ. It takes a long time for me to understand. Gradually. So answer me the question. How long it takes a mother to remember her son who lives 2,000 miles away from her? You are a mom, so answer me. How long it takes for a mother to remember her son who is living 2,000 miles away from her? Good question. Difficult question. How long it takes?
She doesn't forget. She never forgets. Always there. That's what I say.
She doesn't forget. It is always there. When this crazy mind never forgets that real self is my essential nature, that is true meditation. This is how my master used to explain through different parables. He also used to say that to see others in the world outside, you use all the 5 sense organs. And to see yourself, why you close your eyes? Why? In the beginning, we need to close our eyes because meditation transcends the sense organs. So, in order to understand and settle in the mind that how to transcend through the sense organs in the mind, to be into the state of meditation means what? You live into that state of meditation. You don't close your eyes. And there is a lot of wrong perception about it. That is the second. I will reveal everything, that's why I have wrote the book. So pick up the second one. I know everything, still I am suffering. Not yet a seeker. I referred one more verse from the same greatest text. So the title is I know everything, still I am suffering, not yet a seeker. Do you really understand this statement? I know everything, still I am suffering. The reason is that I am not a seeker. And still I am claiming that I know everything. Now I know I have a lot of stress in my... What? You know it? Really you know you have a lot of stress? You know that this fire will burn you? No, I know the fire will burn. And still I am keeping my hand there. Make it very clear to your head when you say, claim, I know everything and still I am suffering. Do you understand that? Right? How many times we claim we understand? I know you are crazy, that's why you made my life hell. No, I have heard from, I'm using the same. I'm stressing, do you understand that? So we have to rewind the mind to, mind claims that I know everything and still I'm putting my hand on the fire? Reason, I'm not a seeker. I'm not a seeker. That's why I do not succeed in meditation. That's why I don't live and work in meditation. Are you getting it? Now let us see. I intentionally put this verse and I'll tell you what he says. You know, this text was written 2500 years ago. 25 means almost, you see that, 25 or 3000. So almost around 1000 BC. Now see the state of anxiety, stress, delusion of this student who says, I'm confused about my duty. I'm confused what to do. We don't have a lot of confusion in our duty, at home and workplace. Yeah. Then he says, I'm besieged with anxiety and faint-heartedness. Sometimes we say, I feel heaviness in the heart. Symptoms. 3000 years ago. Not now. Biology was not there. Medical science was not there. See how the teachers used to guide. See, I'm your disciple. With all humility, when you accept the teacher who will educate your mind, you are on the verge of becoming a seeker. Here we are friends. Now see, and I surrender to you. Please instruct me for certain what is best for me. Unless the mind claims I know everything and still I am suffering, it means I don't know how to manage that suffering. It is only a claim. It means I have problems inside that I don't recognize. In our country, we say it's a privacy issue. Even when people knows.
So, do you think it's because so much in modern day that we're being overstimulated by these images and these things that this is how we're supposed to be according to some marketing person.
Yeah.
And so that creates more confusion in the mind.
Confusion in the mind is due to that I don't know who am I.
And we're looking at something else to tell
And
us.
I'm looking outside to claim who am I. With reference to people outside, with reference to the wealth outside, with reference to the things outside. Come on, I am rich. How dare you can teach me meditation? Are you rich in peace and happiness? I'm asking you this. Forget about it.
So is that pratyahara?
No.
No.
Now, it is the process that the mind, what it claims, it is a wrong notion. I must get rid of the wrong notion.
Okay.
So in order to get rid of the wrong notion, I have to become a seeker. So when I become a seeker, then only I can practice pratyahara.
Okay.
The pratyahara becomes a higher practice. So the seeker has an intense 4 steps. Now that is extremely important. And from what are the 4 steps? I can give you so that you can feel the taste of that language. The first step is Shravanam. Second step is Mananam. Third step is Nididhyasan. Fourth step is Samadhi. Samadhi means the ultimate state of mindfulness. Now understand in English, for the sake of understanding. So let us have first literal translation. Shravana means listening and learning from a teacher who personalizes those principles, who picks up a select principles and who introduces you the principle. You can also study from the Google. I heard that two friends, were talking, oh, what about your life? And the second friend said, hold on, let me Google it. That has become our mind. So the first step, Shravana, means listening and learning from a teacher who personalizes the principle. Second step, Mananam, is contemplation and reflection in my mind over that principle. Why? Contemplation removes the wrong notion, leads to conviction, it drops the claim, it helps you realizes and recognizes I'm claiming I know everything, still I'm suffering. It's a wrong notion. Drop it first. Let me know it again. Contemplation to conviction. Second, and reflection, it gives you a doubt-free mind. That is the second step. Third, nididhyasan, practice, regular practice with wisdom. Fourth is reaching to that ultimate. Every master followed the same principle. Now let me translate these 4 principles in a simple understanding and keep that in your head and contemplate over it. You have any problem and issues, follow the 4 steps. And if you follow the 4 steps, it takes a long time to learn and how to do it, but I'm making it very simple. I don't know, first principle. So I don't know, let me know it. I don't know driving, let me know it. I'm stressed. I don't know why I'm stressed, let me know it. Apply that. First principle, I don't know. Let me know it. So let me know the principle as it is. I started learning Linux language, And I'm already 60, so science says that, you learn, teach, educate something to the brain, so the brain remains young. So I started learning something new. I spent a couple of hours, My son is my master. So first thing is that you learn the principles as it is. Don't argue with it. That is how we learn the principles. In teaching. You're going to a school and A-P-P-L-E is apple. How come it is apple? You don't question. You simply, I don't know, let me know it. Let me know the principle. Right? Second stage. What is it? I don't understand, let me understand it. No called dogma belief. If anyone teaches you dogma belief cult, I will quote and refer the teachings of these masters. There is no reference of yoga, tantra, mantra, yantra is a part of religion called dogma belief. No way. It is a knowledge. Second step is, I don't understand, let me understand it. So how do you understand? You ask questions. You ask questions about your life. Why the goal of life? Why the hell I should have goal in life? How come the mind is pure? Where the mind is impure? Looking at any principle. Really? So simple. We don't question teachers like us. We don't question the teacher. The teacher is saying, let us accept it. And there the journey of conditioning begins. And once the conditioning begins, it never takes you to the higher state. So, do you remember the first principle? I don't know, let me know it. Know the principle as it is. So, what are the principle I talked? The self is behind the mind and the sense organ. It is your true nature. It is full of peace, happiness, love and wisdom. Now you know the principle and now you can repeat it in your head. First step. Second step, I don't understand. I'm suffering and you say the peace is within. How come? I should ask. So the second step is, I don't understand, let me understand it. Asking 5 W's. What, why, how, where and when. This is explained almost in every text. Do you see the para again? I am your disciple. Means I am a seeker now. Please instruct me. I will listen to you whatever you say. First step. Here is the principle. Now I will make you understand the principle. Check it by yourself, intellectually. Intellect has to be clear. That is how all the rest 4 hours will continue. What is the third step? What should be the natural third step? Can you imagine that you have been doing every day? I don't experience. I have understood. Now I agree with you. I know the principle. I have understood it, but I don't experience. Let me practice it. Again, there are certain principles of practice. Practice it. That is what happened. That is how we learned. We became a driver. Driver, teacher guided. Why you put the pedal? Press the pedal. No. Look in front. No, look at the steering. Did it happen?
I'm teaching my son to drive.
I know that he's teaching his son to drive. I think this is perfect.
Did you see that? Did you say that?
Yes. That effect anyway.
So if you allow me to say that, why didn't you learn this? You have to allow the teacher. So third step. And what is the fourth step? Driving license. Free. Now you are not worried. So when a driver teacher taught my daughter driving in New Jersey, you see that. I followed the same principle. She knows it. I invited the same driver. I offered him a cup of tea. I said, I will pay you for 2 hours more. For what? You will not drive. She will sit. She will go to the college. She was studying in Middlesex County. She will go to the college. She will return back. And that you have to do at least for 2 hours. I want you to be sure. So he tweaked a little bit. This is this. I said, now you're free. That is the 4th step. I applied that. Will you remember the 4 steps? I don't know, let me know it. I don't understand, let me understand it. I don't experience, let me practice so that I experience. And the 4th is, in fact, even by the practice for hours and for years together, I don't change. So there are something in between which is preventing you to change. 4th step. That is how the entire journey of Eastern wisdom works. Whether you practice yoga, mindfulness, meditation, kundalini, tantra, mantra, yantra, and all the crazy stuff that is present in our country. Two things, then we'll bring it on. First thing, you have an aspiration to learn these things. Follow the 4 principles. You should be ready to ask a question. Answer me. If they don't answer, leave that teacher, go to the... If they don't give you... And it is not a satisfactory answer. All the answers are already there in 3,000 texts. Do you remember? These principles cannot be updated and upgraded. Why? Can you answer me? Remember that. Contemplate and reflect. You cannot move through the science if the principles are not updated and upgraded. Then mindfulness or meditation or Eastern wisdom is not a science. No, that is not a criteria. No. Is that a criteria? Is that a criteria? No. It cannot become a criteria. Answer, find out the answer of that question. And tell me why we say this. That would be the first point of becoming a seeker. Close your eyes. Let us chant together. Asatoma Satgamaya. Meaning is moving from the false to the truth. Apply the 4 principles. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Literal meaning, moving from ignorance to wisdom. Apply the 4 principles. Mrityoramamritangamaya. Moving from the mortality, that means the fear of death, to immortality. Realizing that I am immortal. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, Lara, and thank you all.
Thank you, Girish. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
So you're meeting tomorrow at?
At 1:30.
At 1:30.
Yeah. If you are interested in the books, they're $10. So we can pay cash or card if you're interested, or if you're not interested, you can just leave it and we'll use it again tomorrow, probably too. Correct? So please feel free. There's drinks and stuff in the cooler, and then there's always chocolate in the cookie jar, so help yourself. And
Thank you.
thank you guys so much for being here. Let us know if you have any questions.
I'm still here, so you can ask any question.
So where does the dust come from?
Oh, that's
Wonderful.
a great question.
That's a question, and a very good question. Dust means the impurity of the mind.
Are we born with it, or do we develop it?
Very good. Another question is very good. So I'll give you a brief of it. And remind me tomorrow also. That would be a good topic. When we were born, we grow. We call it a natural tendency to search for the food the moment we were baby and we are born. We start crying. Mother feed us the milk, right? Mind creates an impression that I will be happy if something I get from outside. I wet my bed. Someone changed it. So now the mind is accumulating those impressions. So the answer of both the questions, just one answer, and then we'll take up in detail, that when the mind is seeking happiness outside by projecting happiness on something, on some person, that is the dust. So everyone thinks, if my honey behaves in a particular way, I'll be happy. It doesn't bring happiness. You see? If I get $1 million, I'll be happy. So I'm constantly running, and 1 million has come. That very desire to have that 1 million is gone. Happiness is also gone. So mind in ignorance seeking something other than me. First point. Right? And then in that thing I project happiness. So the mind forgets my own nature and it is looking for happiness. Can I buy happiness? You cannot buy. And it works very hard. It runs. Come on, honey, understand it. Forget about it. You understand yourself. Why don't you understand my son? Leave him. You understand yourself. You want to be happy by yourself? You be happy. That we don't take this route. We take the other route. And that is what I said. Why you marry? For happiness? Why you divorce? For happiness? Think of it. Think. Second step. Contemplate and reflect. So the mind facing to the world, seeking happiness in millions of the things, gathers the dust. Remove that dust. This is what Buddha says, emptiness. This is what Buddha says, nothingness. What you will do with the nothingness? You succeeded in meditation. I have heard a lot of teachers. I attended a lot of programs in New Jersey and with many teachers silently. You reach to the nothingness, the compassion will come. How the nothingness can bring compassion? And if the nothingness bring compassion, let me give a dose of anesthesia. Be logical. Let me give a dose of anesthesia. Give a higher dose of melatonin. Why you go for meditation? So he is also referring, now the dust is no more. Explore further. In Dhammapad, then he talks about the same processes, same 4 steps, same dispassion. So that is the journey. Be happy, keep smiling. I touch the simple stuff, all the crazy stuff I teach. We'll meet tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, she is the owner of all these books here.
Thank you.
Thank you. ठीक है. How are you, Samir? You are good? He is also good, He is enjoying. He has been with me for the last 25 years.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you.
You have to send your contribution to Lara. You are attending her studio.
Okay.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Perfect.
Thank
Well,
you.
hey, I will
Thank
see
you.
you in
I won't be here
India.
tomorrow, but I'll be here Sunday.
Sunday.
I won't be okay.
He's got something tomorrow.
My
so-
son has an event.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So we have to wait for the dust until Sunday.
Thank you. ठीक है
To
समीर.
be a seeker from last time.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Helene.
Nice to meet
See you
you.
soon.
दे दो.
Thank you. Bye, Caleb. See you later.
See you later. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I have recording is on, so